Hello everybody. So in today's video, very quick video, I promise you, I want to reveal you guys how to make affirmation work in like a speed mode, because most of the time affirmations are like law of attraction 101. It is so common to say and to affirm things to the point where we see videos of affirmations, and of course Aki is here with us, and we just like, it's the most common thing that people tell you to, reprogram your subconscious mind, affirm positive things for yourself, focus on positivity. But then why so many people try affirmations and positive focus, but then they don't end up manifesting, or it doesn't end up working in the long run? Well, in this video, I want to review you guys the reason why and how to fix it. So keep on watching. Okay, you guys, for those of you who are new, I am Nea, but let's get down to the video immediately because like I said, I want to be fast. So here's the thing. Affirmation can be a powerful tool because obviously words have meaning and therefore they have power. In my video entitled Universal Frequencies, I explained how our bodies are like instruments that need to be tuned at the right frequency in order to attract the outcomes that we want to see in our reality. But most often, what we don't understand about this beautiful instrument is that it's so correlated to our belief system and the programming that there is in our subconscious mind. And most of you probably already know this. So how do we really affect the subconscious mind? Step by step. One of the most counterproductive things to do for yourself in order to manifest is to start affirming something that your subconscious doesn't believe. So most of the people, even though they might be on a lower vibrational level, they start affirming, they're like, I'm winning the lottery, I am abundant, I am joy, I am positive. And obviously this in the short while can work in the conscious mind because the conscious mind is affirming and is believing. But most of the time what happens is that you're saying, I am winning the lottery, I'm a millionaire, and your subconscious is going, you're lying. Because your subconscious, it's not that easily affectable by your conscious mind. Otherwise, it will be so much easier to attract for the majority of people. But majority of people after affirmation, they go to shadow work, they go to deep healing work because they do understand that the programming inside their mind is so deep and ingrained that they need to change it in a way or another. And obviously, nobody can take away from you shadow work. Nobody can take away from you the effectiveness of yoga and meditation and spiritual practices, because it's only through consistency and it's only through experience that you truly tap in your subconscious mind and you change the programming. Nevertheless, affirmation can still be a very powerful tool if they have done and used correctly. So how do we really affect the subconscious mind? First and foremost, we have to try to understand our subconscious and our programming. We have to become real and authentic with ourselves and understand why we don't believe that we are joyful and abundant, why we don't believe that we can have our dreams coming true in actualization, and why every time that we listen to affirmation for other people, our subconscious inside is triggered and it almost cringes. We have to try to work with the subconscious mind in a very gentle way and understanding the point of view of the subconscious. Most of the time, if you're not feeling beautiful, you don't feel enough, there are reasons why you don't feel enough, and those reasons are probably lying underneath your trauma. So do shadow work and go deep into your authentic self. But then most of the time, the problem of why affirmation is not working is because we are not communing with the divine. We are thinking that our happiness, our joy relies on things outside of ourselves. So that is the first thing that we can fix, and we can fix very quickly, is to go deep on a meditation and understand that everything is an expansion of source energy, and everything that we experience is just looking for God in the wrong places. It's looking for the divine, our divinity within, all in the wrong places. And this is also why people misunderstand healthy boundaries, for instance, but I'm going to talk about this in another video. So the first thing is to understand and practice communion with the divine on a day-to-day basis. And so understanding the rhythm and the flow of your body, what is feeling the cosmic love of the universe, and that can only be accessed through meditation. But let's say, for instance, that you're not very spiritually inclined and you want a more quick solution, even though I highly suggest to do daily communion with the divine, because that's how you really affect the subconscious mind to understand that what you're looking for is what you see. And if you're looking for God, all you see is God. It's in the presence and in the communion with the divine that we truly find our oneness. But like I said, this can be a bit more obviously of a spiritual and lengthy process. On a more mundane perspective, what we have to understand about our subconscious mind is this belief system that we hold. And we cannot affirm anything if it's not backed up by inspiration. I am a huge believer and supporter of the word inspiration. And you might be like, what? Inspiration, and you heard me saying this thousands of times, means in spirit. When we get a download, when we get an idea from spirit, we feel inspired. Our vibration naturally rises because we recognize the match with that divine union and that divine energy within. So every time that we feel that an idea is inspired, our subconscious immediately believes in it and can affirm it into reality very quickly. For instance, if you're just affirming for yourself, I am winning the lottery, I am a millionaire, that is not necessarily, unless it is, but for most people, it's not an inspired idea. And this is why your subconscious mind doesn't believe it right away. Of course it's possible. Of course, if you ask me, you can become the richest person in the world and there is enough abundance for everybody. But the point is not if something is possible or impossible in reality and objectively, but the point is, does your subconscious think that that is possible? Most of the time where our ideas are inspired is because our subconscious believes in them. So for instance, do you believe that you can get that new job? And mind you, how are you looking at the perspective of getting this new job? For instance, are you looking at the perspective of getting a new job because you have been fired, you're desperate, and you need money? Most often your subconscious will say, you know, you won't get it. You're not good enough. That's why you got fired. There is the economic crisis. It will start functioning in a chaotic way to affirm the ego reality of fear. But there is another part of yourself, a more harmonious part of yourself, that believes that getting a new job is possible. But why getting a new job is possible? Because you want to live better and you want not the same career that comes from fear, lack, and there is a reason why you don't have it anymore, but comes from the awareness that if something was taken away from you, there is a reason. So before you even start to affirm, look at the reason why you don't have a job. And instead of blaming the outside circumstances, ask yourself, is this a blessing in disguise? And what do I think is believable for me? For instance, for you, something that is believable will be to find a better job. It won't necessarily be immediately winning the lottery or becoming a millionaire. It's to find a better job. So like I always say, you cannot jump from point A to point Z in a snap unless you are really, really trained into transcending this material reality, which for the most people, it's not the case. You still believe that what you see, it's highly objective, it's true, and it's real. And therefore, you cannot jump from point A to point Z. You have to affect reality from your belief system. And so you can affirm for yourself, I am getting a better job. You're not being too specific about what job you're getting, but you're still believing that that is absolutely possible. And let's look deeply and rootedly at the fact that you might think that you're not enough. Most of the time, due to this society that we're living, you're thinking that you're not enough because you're not comparing yourself with yourself. You're comparing yourself with other people constantly due to social media. And that is what, for the majority of people nowadays, makes you feel like you're not enough, as well as your past trauma. And like I said, go deeply to the root of your core being and understand why you feel like you're not enough. And most of the time, you will find your trauma trauma, but beyond your trauma, there will be the lack of support that you feel from within, which is the absence of looking for the divine inside of you. You're looking, your job is your identification, that money is your identification to feel successful, but you can just skip all of that and access your divine nature and access the fact that you are enough. When the divine is there, your subconscious will get immediately released. Their fear, the doubts will immediately be released just by virtue of the vibration of love that comes directly from the divine. So the first thing that I advise you to do is just to get real with yourself. What do you think is possible coming from a divine space? So what does it mean exactly to come from a divine space? It means that you're not judging yourself for your desires, because all your desires are inspired. And when you get an idea, after you do some bit of, authentic conversation with yourself, and you get this idea and you're like, I really want to do my YouTube channel. I really want to do, I don't know, I really want to apply for that particular job. That is something that your subconscious believes is possible. And now you're going to have that inner battle within yourself where the ego is like, no, you're not enough. And your divine self is telling you, no, you are enough. And that's when you can trigger with affirmation, because not only it's believable for your subconscious, because it's just not from point A to point Z. It's only a tiny little step, getting a better job, a better raise, it's highly believable for your reality. But then if you look at yourself like a little small child, like Mother, Father, God, and the divine is looking at you right now, like their children, the divine is looking at you like you are their child, okay? So if you're looking at yourself like a small child, you can talk to yourself and say, well, do you think that that small child deserves to have that better job? You might say to yourself, of course. If you're looking at a children, if you look into a child, you will probably say, absolutely, you can have whatever you want in the world. And by accessing your inner child, by accessing that divine part of your subconscious mind, you go and talk very gently to your subconscious. You're mothering your subconscious, and you are triggering that deep part of yourself to indeed believe that you can get a small thing that is a better job. And obviously the job is just an example. If we're talking about a relationship, you are getting a better relationship. That will depend on who you are. So that's the first thing that I advise you to do. It's to be authentic with yourself, check what is believable for you in the present time, fight a little bit, confront your ego, confront your fear, and move past your fear by talking to yourself like a divine mother. That's how you access your subconscious. Once the subconscious is accessed and mentally, you know what is believable for you. You know what you want. You know, because you can see it. You can see that pattern of the future coming into fruition through visualization. And I made 2 specific videos about this, the art of visualization and time, the concept of time, by accessing that pathway that is absolutely existent, because once you think about it, it exists in the future. That's what you got to do with affirmation. Stop listening to anybody else. Don't go on YouTube and start listening to other people's affirmation. Don't. Take a recorder on your phone. Everybody has one, even if you have, you don't have iPhone, you have an Android phone, everybody has a recorder nowadays, right? So you take your recorder on your phone and you record yourself, your own beautiful voice. You record yourself affirm what it's believable for you, okay? So for instance, let's take the example of the job once more. I am getting that new wonderful job. Don't be too specific, yet don't be too general. Kind of generalize in a way that is personal to you. So you say this word and you visualize this beautiful job, but you remain open and not too controlling about how you might get this job. In this way, you are automatically not only affirming, but letting go and letting the divine work for you, okay? I am getting this wonderful, beautiful job. I am happy because I am in this wonderful, beautiful job. I am fulfilled. I am changing. I am blessed. And you start affirming affirm it, because the more you affirm, as you guys probably know, the more your brain multiplies these sentences and you record yourself. Then if you are practical with the computer, after you record, you can put it in any program like GarageBand or anything like that, and you can put like a nice music underneath, and then you can re-listen to your own voice affirming those things. So you can affirm while you are listening to the recording, or you can even go to bed, and before you go to bed, rather than put any intention, you just listen to your own voice affirming those affirmations. And some of you guys might cringe at the idea because you hate your own voice, or you hate to listen to your own voice. But that's the catch. Just the very fact that you hate listening to your own voice, repeating positive patterns, it's one of the reasons why affirmation is not working, because you don't want to hear those things, because you're believing so much negatively about yourself, and the history that you're telling yourself, the story that you're telling into your mind is so embodied in your subconscious that you can't even take to listen to positive affirmation done by your own self. You need to listen by someone else, because if you are saying it to yourself, you don't believe it. We must pierce through that and destroy that idea that your subconscious has. And in order to do that, we affect the subconscious mind through dreams, through the state before sleep where your conscious mind is finally dropping and you're listening to yourself, which if your conscious mind is dropping, your subconscious mind is listening to yourself. You're listening to yourself affirming those things during sleep. And if you are going to do this, I promise you guys that your affirmations will work 10 times more than listening to a pre-recorded thing from another person. Record yourself and affirm it. And what is going to happen is that you are going to see your manifestation coming through. So in the example of something that is believable for you in the present moment, getting this new job, and so you make a loop of recordings where you listen to yourself, it's going to happen. I'm telling you right now, it's going to happen. You are going to manifest it. Let it go of how or when. It's going to happen, especially if you keep it very general. Again, you let go and let the divine. You do daily communion with the divine. Like I said in my video, find your patron deity. It will just come true. And what it's going to happen is that because your manifestation have come true, your subconscious will start to get not triggered, but will start believing you even more. So from that new job, you will start to say, I am getting money. I am getting abundant. And the more the things will come true, because you're re-listening to yourself and you're reprogramming your subconscious mind through your own voice, which is your own unique blueprint. You're like, it's almost like if you are listening to the affirmation in someone else and you think that that is going to work, it's like saying that you are a guitar in a band and you're not playing but letting play someone else your own tune. It just cannot work. If you're a member of a band, which is the metaphor of the universe, you are a guitar, you're an instrument, you're part of the universe, you have to participate to the band. You have to participate to the making of this music. So you can't make someone else do it for you. You have to do it for yourself. And so by listening to your own affirmation and by seeing the results in the present moment, day by day, the more that you are going to do it, the more your subconscious will start to believe that is actually possible. And your ego will stay quiet and more quiet and more quiet. And every time that will start to, try his own game and saying, oh, you're not enough, your subconscious will be so strong with your conscious mind because it's so used to hear yourself saying certain things, it'll be like, oh yeah, whatever. And you won't listen to it anymore. And then if you can add that with daily communion with the divine, which is your strength, is your power, the fact that you are tuning in and aligned with such a powerful energy, you will get more and more inspired ideas that will be so much easier to affirm, and it will be ever going. You will always be inspired. You will always be in this vortex of creation. It can only get multiplied from that. And it just works, guys. I have practiced this for so long in my life. I have never listened to anyone else affirmations because I just knew since I was a child how this instrument and this vibration things work. Do also for my practices in witchcraft. So I just know that if I visualize, I affirm, and I listen to my own voice, my subconscious will get activated in a different way, and I will reprogram my mind. Plus, like I said, communion with the divine, connection with the divine makes it so much easier, because it's a cure for any codependency. It really, because you're only looking for God or for the divine in all the wrong places. And it is a cure also to understand how to let go of fear, how to let go of control. But we need another video for that, where I'm going to talk about healthy boundaries also being the cure for codependency. So guys, try this method at home, at least for a month, and tell me in the comment section if you ever tried this before and if it worked for you guys, because I think if you access affirmation in this way, it's gonna work wonderfully, even if you are a beginner or you are going to give up on the law of attraction or manifestation at large. And another little tip that I want to add, if you can put in your own recording affirmation, maybe towards the end, if you can say, thank you universe, because with this I will help other people. Thank you universe, because while I'm receiving my blessings, I will create value for other people. It will work even faster, because remember, our spirit guides and angel and the divine at large always supports our divine mission, our soul project, which is to grow and expand this existing reality. And this is your soul purpose. Your soul purpose is not to go to work. Your soul purpose is not to do videos. It's not to earn money. It's not to necessarily be a mother. All of these things are beautiful and they're a part of your journey. But your soul purpose, your life purpose, is to grow, expand this evolving reality. And once you access this divine mission, that it's the common knowledge that we all have, it's our common mission, things will start moving towards the betterment of your life. They will start moving towards your light, and abundance will be your state of being. Okay, so this is what I have for you today, guys. I hope this video resonated with you and made some sense. Let me know in the comment section down below. Like I said, first of all, check with your subconscious what is believable for you. Take things step by step, daily communion with the divine, record your own affirmation and listen to them in a stage where your conscious mind is dropping and you can affect your own subconscious. If you put music underneath, even better. That's always inspiring. And act upon inspiring ideas, not just the necessity of your ego, but like I said, those downloads that all of us get on a day-to-day basis from the universe. Okay, thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in this channel, and I see you very soon in another of my videos. Bye.